Hey friends, welcome to the Publish, Promote, Profit podcast. I'm Rob Kosberg, and every week I show you how to use a best-selling book to grow your income and your impact. And if you're interested in having your own best-selling book, I recorded a short video explaining our trademarked process at beginmybook.com. Hey, Rob Kosberg here with Bestseller Publishing. How would you like to massively scale your impact and your income at the same time? And I mean massively. I mean in a way that with time, you can create the kind of impact that you see the top thought leaders and celebrities make in their space. You need three things to do that. And of course, I'm doing this on Facebook Live. I also have my BSP call, but you need three things, three absolute must-have things that you have to have in place. And with time, I mean, you'll rocket things quickly, but in time, you can hit like the kind of thought leader and celebrity status that very, very few people do. So let me tell you a brief story. So in 1992, Dave Ramsey, who most of us know who Dave Ramsey is, Financial Peace University, Dave Ramsey was just coming off of a massive failure and bankruptcy. And in 1992, we had just gone through the S&L banking crisis, so it wasn't as bad as what happened in 2008, but in the early 1990s, there were some bad things happen, real estate dropped in value, et cetera, and Dave was a real estate investor. So around that period of time, there were other bankruptcies and things happening, but Dave wrote his very, very first book, which he was going around and selling out of the trunk of his car. So his first book that he'd written had really not very little success. He was selling his book out of the trunk of his car from kind of place to place. So he got an opportunity to do an interview on a radio station. This is in Nashville, Tennessee. The radio interview went well, and what Dave found out after the interview is that radio station was also in bankruptcy and in receivership, and they were having to lay off a number of people, especially the higher-priced disc jockeys. So what Dave said is, hey, look, I'd like to take an hour and do a show, which would later become the Dave Ramsey Show, now 25 years later, still running and syndicated to almost 600 radio stations around the country. He said, I'd like to do a show, a daily show that we do, for an hour a day, not just on finance, but he had a couple of other partners or people that were on the show. And we can take one of these time slots that was normally held by one of the DJs that you're going to be letting go. They didn't have many options. In fact, they had zero options. So they gave the opportunity to Dave. Within about 4 months, one of his two partners dropped out. And then eventually the second partner dropped out, but Dave's show started experiencing some modest success. In fact, in his own words, Dave has said many times he did not expect that show would do well, but it did. And the success started modestly. After that, little by little, the success of his show grew to the point where now the economy was doing better and more people were interested in financial peace. So they were buying Dave's products, services, and of course, Dave's book. The show became successful and started to get syndicated nationwide. Here we are 25 years later, and Dave continues to do this exact same show and really follow the exact same model that he followed in 1992, right after his bankruptcy and the bankruptcy of the radio station that gave him his first opportunity and shot. And what is that model? That model is selling his products and courses. He now has expanded into some other things like live events and coaching, etc. Plus, he's now doing a leadership thing, kind of a business coaching thing. But for the most part, his bread and butter is using his platform, which is radio, to drive leads and opportunities to sell his products and services, which are lower price, like books, courses, etc. That is how he became known, and that is how he became a multi-millionaire many, many, many times over. There are three things within this story that you need to be aware of, because anybody that has experienced success has the exact same, whether or not on that level, I don't know, but for myself, the exact same pieces in place to experience that success. What are they? Now, I don't know if this is turned around backwards for you, but here's what they are. That's having a great proposal, having a great platform, and having a great process in place to make an impact and an income with your knowledge. Now, if you don't have a process, what's going to happen is you're not going to make any sales. And if you don't have a great proposal or offer, well, that means you're not going to attract the right clients. And if you don't have a great platform in place to put you in front of people, then you're not going to get any leads. You need all three of these things. So you can look at your business right now and say, well, I'm not getting any leads, but I have a really good offer or proposal. What's the problem? Well, you're not on the right platforms. You're not in front of the right people to make the kind of impact that you need to. So let's look at this model from Dave's perspective for just a second. Then I'll share the BSP perspective, and then you can think about what this perspective means for you and for your business. So what is a great proposal? Well, Dave's proposal was simple. In the beginning, he was just selling his book. He didn't even have a course. He eventually moved into courses that would sell from anywhere from $27 up to $297 eventually. These were DVDs, these were CDs, and of course, eventually they became online courses. Now, besides that, he also had products that he would sell for people that were creating a budget or people that were trying to track their finances. But his proposal is all around selling these lower ticket products so that people can get their budget right. Now, what's his platform? His platform's simple. It started out with one radio interview that ended up becoming his radio show. And here now, 25 years later, he is still doing the same exact show, which is now called the Dave Ramsey Show, to millions of people every single day. He does it every single day, like clockwork, determination, persistence. But it's built an amazing platform for Dave. Amazing. And then what's his process? Well, his process now is really simple. You're going to go to his website. You're going to go to Amazon and buy his book. His website sells his products, sells his courses, sells his coaching, etc. It's very, very simple. Now, look, ours is different. I wrote down ours at the very top. Our proposal is not lower end and low ticket products. We are a done for you and a done with you service. And our prices can range from as low as $1,000 all the way up to $30,000 and more. So our proposal is to help authors or would-be authors to publish, promote, and profit with their best-selling book, and to go from just idea to published best-selling book and then using that to make money. What is our platform? Well, my platform is social media. So I'm doing a Facebook Live right now, but for the most part, I do paid advertising on social media. In fact, I haven't created a lot of content. We have hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook through groups and through my personal and business profiles as well as Twitter. Hundreds of thousands. And I haven't really created content to draw those followers in. On the contrary, what I've used is I've used paid advertising to draw those clients in or potential clients. But that's changing for us. I am actually going all in on creating content, a podcast, a video show, repurposing what I teach into a blog, etc. Why? Because the content itself, just like Dave's content on the radio that's put out there for free, will help to grow our platform significantly. So I'm just giving you some insight into what direction we're going. We're still going to do paid advertising, and you can make paid advertising work for you, but those are two different platforms, right? You have a paid advertising platform, and you have creating content for podcasts, social media, etc. And then what is our process? Our process is simple. People fill an application out and they get on the telephone with one of our author development coaches. We see if it's a fit. We tell them what the investment will be. We'll tell them what the next steps are. And many people decide to move forward with us to the point of millions of dollars a year in new clients and helping clients to be successful. It's not complicated, right? In fact, in a lot of ways, this is simple, but that doesn't make it easy, right? What Dave has done in the last 25 years is not easy, but it is simple, and anybody can do it. He has stuck with it over that period of time. So do you want to make this kind of impact on the world? Well, guess what? The time to start was 25 years ago, okay? With getting your book done, with getting on the radio, with building out, your social media infrastructure 10 years ago, etc. That's the best time to start. The second best time to start, right now. Right now. Right now with your podcast, right now with completing your book and making it a bestseller, right now with using that book to get speaking engagements, and not just you do a couple of speaking engagements and it ends. If that is your platform, if your platform is to be on stage, then guess when it ends? When you retire or when you decide to move in a different direction, right? The same with Dave's radio show. 25 years, nonstop, the same exact thing. He's making a huge impact, and you can too. But you need that platform in place, right? Great proposal. That proposal is given to an amazing platform, and then you have a process to turn the interested people into potential clients. These are the three things that you've got to have to be massively successful in your business. Now, if you just want a little success, then sure, word of mouth, referrals, every now and then handing your book out, you'll get a new client here or there. Absolutely. But if you want Dave Ramsey-like success, if you want to write, seven-figure checks or see seven-figure checks coming in every year into your business, then guess what? You need a great proposal. You need a massive platform, and you need a process that is tight to convert people and bring them into your world. Hey, thanks for listening in on the Publish, Promote, Profit podcast. If you enjoyed it, please take a minute and like and subscribe to the podcast, because every week I bring you either great guests or great teaching to help you to grow your income and your impact with a best-selling book. And if you're interested in having your own best-selling book, check out my short video which explains our trademark process at beginmybook.com.